Since modern times, Shenyang's been northeast China's industrial heart. And northeast China was the industrial backbone of China.
I used to fire up the grill right here.
Up here, everything gets grilled.
This place is called Hanyang Wang Stone Plate Barbecue.
Some chicken ribs, dozens of beers.
Happy holidays.
Buddies chat the night away.
It's all about sucking out the flavor. You even lick your fingers.
Shenyang isn't a city that's big on social status. People here prefer laid-back places to get together and catch up.
Good.
It's not that we can't afford Seoul. Shenyang is just a better deal.
Christian carp is coming.
Whether you drive a nice car or take the bus, hit a street stall, and meet up. It's hot.
Even the biggest shots are nothing but nice here. Our name gets around.
Just joking.
Why do people love local joints? One big reason is that the owner is the chef. Keep customers. We call that holding your own.
Any sides or drinks? I want this place to be Shenyang's go-to late-night spot.
They built a life with their own hands. Every dish helps make a living. Better business. Better lives.
Back then, I was right here. This whole row was deli stalls. This one sold electric grilled chicken ribs. We were right across from each other. I used to fire up the grill right here.
Lizu grilled chicken ribs is something of a local legend. In Shenyang, Mr. Li has been doing this for decades. Chicken ribs are one of Shenyang's signatures. Shenyang had some of China's earliest industrial chicken farms. The chickens often weren't sold whole. The remaining frames as byproducts served as an affordable, nutritious source of protein.
Happy holidays.
Some chicken ribs, dozens of beers. Buddies chat the night away. Shenyang is famous for its barbecue. I think it has a great deal to do with the city's industrial roots. For barbecue, you need skewers, a charcoal grill, and fuel. Those things were easy to come by in an industrial city. The coke was left over from steel mills. It still held plenty of heat and burned well. What factories threw away became free fuel, and honestly, a strong, steady heat source.
My father-in-law's been at it for nearly 40 years. I've only done it 2 or 3. What's up, bro?
Tending the fire?
Yep,
Didn't want to interrupt.
it's fine.
My son-in-law and I each have our own touch. All 4 of us can grill. Even my daughter, she started working with me at 16.
Easy on the drinks. Mom's getting older, and so is he. Selling fruit didn't pay much. He said, try this. I said, okay.
How did she learn? I used to drink a lot. Sometimes I'd doze off. Customers would say, he's asleep. My daughter took over and learned little by little. Here, take it.
My wife would ask why I'm not home yet. Gotta stay for one more round.
1, 2, 3.
Not me.
I handed it over to my daughter and son-in-law. Gonna keep it going.
Hello.
20 vacuum-packed chicken racks, please.
That will take a long time.
Okay, that's fine.
Shenyang isn't a city that's big on social status. Workers' city. People in Shenyang prefer laid-back places to get together and catch up. An unassuming shop, you'll see luxury cars lined up. Even in a mink coat, you'll come for jar-braised pork.
Business has been okay lately. We sell around 40 to 50 kilos on an average day. That's about 300 bowls.
Jar-braised pork likely came from Jinan's jar-cooked pork. The pork is cut into cubes and slow-simmered over gentle heat. Well-seasoned, not too sweet. Pair it with pickled cabbage over a bowl of rice, or stir the rice right in. So good.
We use pure fresh pork. Lower pork belly and shoulder. It's an old family recipe. With secret spices, I still follow these steps exactly. It's jar-braised, not red-braised. We don't use caramelized sugar for color. It takes 2 rounds. Cook it 80% first, then simmer it again, so the flavor can fully soak in.
How long do you stew the meat?
2 hours.
And the cabbage?
An hour and a half. We hand-cut the pork while it's raw, not after cooking. If you cut it cooked, it's been blanched. The fibers and meat tighten up, and it won't absorb flavors as thoroughly.
Early 80s, Shenyang officials set up a market for laid-off workers. By 1996, its annual tax revenue had surpassed 100 million yuan, and it employed tens of thousands of people. Wuai Market became the wholesale distribution hub of northeast China. Wuai Street definitely fueled the growth of Shenyang's light industry and small goods trade.
Business was booming. Money just rolled in. Many stalls sold jar-braised pork. They were making good money, and I could cook it. I figured if I got into it, I'd do just fine, so I set up a stall there.
This is the spot, right? Finally found the place where you started out.
No buildings.
Just those concrete platforms, out in the open, right?
I put up a shack right along the roadside, on Wuai Street, 95 or 96. Just a tricycle and 2 big buckets. I'd sell what I could. Sales kept growing, and I got hooked. Even the biggest shots are nothing but nice here. Our name gets around.
Lao Leo Big Belly was one of the earliest fast food restaurants serving this kind of food in the Wuai area. After a few drinks, when I want pickled cabbage soup, this place is always my first choice.
I've been coming here for more than a decade.
At first, I had a chef cooking for me. Things were all over the place. Later, I took over myself. How did I learn? I studied with the spice vendors. They'd ask me, no one knows all these spices by name. You do? All of them. If this jar-braised pork hadn't worked out, I'd have been crushed.
Things have changed a lot, huh? It's been over 30 years. When we were kids, Wuai Street was the most fascinating place. It was always lively. They sold everything there.
By 3 in the morning, vendors were already at the market. Back then, stores closed on the dot, and nobody haggled. No too expensive, or make it cheaper. None of that. People just bought it and left.
There you are. Oh my gosh.
Business good?
There were taxis everywhere. Once the bosses were done with work, they came for lunch. Come late, even the soup was gone. Now they don't sell goods. Just live stream. Nobody comes out to eat.
When online shopping came along, Wuai Street was already declining. Maybe it just couldn't keep up. Other cities had more wholesale markets too, and that affected Wuai Street.
It's not what it used to be. And I've gotten old.
I live nearby, so I come by for lunch once in a while. Good meat, they pick well. I've gotten used to it, my go-to. It's been so many years.
And my dad has grown old.
Yeah, I'm already 70.
I trained in soccer when I was young. I started as a kid and worked my way into the Liaoning youth team. Eventually, I grew tired of soccer. My father sat me down and talked with me. Soccer costs a lot of money. They gave everything they had. It also took a toll on his health. As I got older and understood, I decided to let it go. When I quit playing soccer back then, I was really frustrated. My parents were afraid to leave me alone. We lived on the 6th floor, got window bars. Do you know why? He was afraid I'd break down. I'd chased that dream for years. He was afraid I'd do something stupid. It wasn't until I got married and had kids that I truly understood how hard it had been for him. I'm here to pick up the meat.
Right away.
I spent years learning from him how to make this dish. What time do you finish?
Around 11 a.m. Things quiet down by then.
What time do you start?
Half a day, 11 p.m.
12 hours. So you hardly slept. This little shop carries on the craftsman's spirit. My father taught me this. Stick to one thing and do it the best you can. My skills have already surpassed yours.
Easy to start, hard to keep.
I still want to pass this place down and make it a true century-old brand. Only 70 years left to go.
I'd call Shenyang the center of Korean food in the universe. Everything that falls under Korean cuisine can be found in Shenyang.
Doing good?
Hello.
Business good?
Not bad.
Any wild garlic?
It's all fresh, all wild.
Let's buy some.
Pure wild ones are great.
This place is called Hanyang Wang Stone Plate Barbecue. Wang means big. It means Hanyang Big Stone Plate Barbecue. Put simply, it's Big Stone Plate Barbecue. A5, you're up. A5. A5. That's plenty for now. You can order more later.
Back then in Shenyang, there was a railway station built by the Russians, called Mukden Station. A large number of Korean laborers lived in the area around it, and gradually settled down, and made their lives here. That's how the community first took shape.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. I came to Shenyang in 1989. We sold pickled vegetables. Hello. You couldn't make much here. Everybody was heading to South Korea. That's where the money was. I was doing business here, selling pickles. My husband said, "Let's just stay here. We're doing fine here." But I wanted to see the world for myself.
Back then, we didn't have anything like all this around here. Now it's more like a shopping street. Small shops. Back then, there were only a few. Now they're everywhere. When I was in elementary school, my parents went to South Korea. Careful with this. Before they left, they sent me to a host family. They had no choice. They had to leave me with a family they barely knew. I was apart from my parents. My mom left quietly while I was at school. She only told me the day before. The next day, when I went to school, she was already gone. Thinking about it now. Wait. I can't even think about it. It makes me cry.
Of course I missed her. In the beginning, there were no phones. A letter would come. And every time I read it, I would end up crying. We lived like that for 8 or 9 years. Korea was exhausting. I only got 2 days off a month. But I wanted more, so I never rested.
No more orders, no more numbers. I'm done for today.
I missed all her school years, elementary, middle, and high school. I came back for her entrance exams. After I came back, I wanted to open a restaurant. What should I serve? I'd learned Korean-style braised hairtail in South Korea. Hairtail worked well, so I tried it with crucian carp. I make all the chili paste myself. Store-bought just isn't the same. The one I make uses quality chili powder and top-notch ingredients. Over time, the taste got really good. I knew I had it right.
What I love most here is the Korean home-style spicy braised cod and crucian carp made by the owner's mother. Super delicious. With rice, it feels just like a home-cooked meal. The owner has truly inherited her mother's cooking and preserved it well.
There was one time when one of our regulars came in. He always orders the crucian carp. One day he ordered it again, but unfortunately, our chef had stepped out, so my mom cooked it instead.
Crucian carp is coming.
Every dish is a winner.
As soon as he tasted it, he said, "Why is it so good today?" I said, "Oh, it's the same." He said, "No, it's especially good." That's when we realized that regulars can tell the difference.
When I first came, Hyen was a high schooler.
Very young.
A high schooler.
She just started high school.
The non-spicy ones don't taste good after drying.
The spicy ones taste good after drying. In South Korea, she had already worked her way up to head chef. She had a bright future. She was earning good money too. The work wasn't that hard. She wasn't doing the hands-on work. She was managing the staff. Then one New Year's, she came home after her shift. And I saw every one of her fingers wrapped in bandages. I wanted to free her from the kitchen right then. She went overseas and worked herself to the bone for me. Then she gave up a good job and future there just to be with me. Careful, it's hot. I didn't want her exhausted. So I decided to take over.
When Hyen said she wanted to take over, I was against it. This business is just too exhausting.
What about this one? Does this look more upscale?
You went to college just to run a restaurant? No, that's not worth it. I couldn't bear it. She tried and she did really well.
One bowl of rice.
She's very hardworking. What color is this?
Green.
Green.
One for Grandma, one for Chinchin.
Oh, okay. Wow, you put it together so well. I wasn't there much when my daughter was growing up. That's all in the past now, but it's still a regret. Now I can spend more time with my grandson and enjoy every moment. I love you.
Seeing how well they treat my child now, it's like they're making up for all those years they couldn't be there for me, and I'm making peace with the regrets I carried from those years apart.
Look who it is.
We hadn't seen each other for years. After taking over, I wanted more young people to discover this place.
In northeast China, guobao rou only became a signature dish around 30 years ago. There's a saying that it's a ladies' dish. When people gather for a meal, the host might say, "Let's order something sweet and sour. For ladies and kids, get a ladies' dish." That's guobao rou. In Shenyang, guobao rou is fried quite crisp and firm, then evenly coated in a ketchup-based sauce. Harbin's version is the classic sweet and sour style. It's fluffier. The outside is crisp, while a layer of potato starch inside creates a chewy, thicker texture along with the pork. It's intensely sweet and sour. The aroma hits. There are red and yellow styles of guobao rou in the northeast. Eastern Inner Mongolia goes savory. 3 traditional styles.
I'm from Heilongjiang. The guobao rou there is quite different from the one in Liaoning. I craved it, but nobody here did. So I tried figuring it out. Lots of Heilongjiang folks, at meals, I'd ask them to try my version of guobao rou, and they'd ask me to make some for their friends. That's how I decided to put it on the menu. With all these new versions around, I thought, why not take it a step further? I've made guobao rou with purple yam and taro, with buldak sauce, even with douger, and with chocolate. They've all sold well.
Guobao rou was the highlight of childhood for Northeasterners of my generation. Back when we were kids, getting a plate of guobao rou meant you'd probably finished first or second in class, or a holiday, like Children's Day. It was the ultimate reward meal.
Not bad.
I still prefer the old school version.
Chocolate guobao rou on Douyin. So we came to try.
The place was called Jimao Skewers, because when I opened in 2015, many skewers cost just 6 or 8 jiao. Later I thought, think bigger. I liked it, because the contrast was funny. Jimao Grand Hotel. Just for fun. When I first started innovating, people called to complain. I was stunned. I was crushed. They thought I was insulting a Northeastern classic.
But the original guobao rou was an innovation too, so why can't it keep evolving today?
Developing new recipes is painful. Sometimes it comes down to the seasoning, 1 gram at a time. By the time a dish is served, I'm sick of eating it for quite a while.
Donnie N.
When did you get back?
Last night.
Have a seat.
Quite a trip. Got any new flavors lately?
I'm making you a mayo and wasabi version. The wasabi gives it a unique kick. Mayo with guobao rou. Sounds good, huh? Then add a little wasabi. And eat them together. Sometimes 2 girls each order a different flavor and share, like that. People interact here. Sometimes they add each other on WeChat. They've become friends because of this dish. No matter how many branches I open in the future, I'll still come here, cook when I feel like it, make good food with friends, hang out, and have a few drinks.
It's hot.